Ah, Scotland, home of ancient castles, rugged landscapes and legends that have stood the test of time.
Legends, you say? I once saw the Loch Ness monster. It was this big, at least, I think it was Nessie. Might have been a log, or possibly my Uncle Gary. He has a habit of swimming in lochs unannounced.
Let's stick to the facts, shall we? Welcome to Scotland, a land known for its dramatic landscapes, rich history and cultural heritage. From ancient castles to mysterious lochs, there is so much to explore.
And don't forget the Highland cows. I taught one to dance once. Terrible partner, though. Kept stepping on my feet. And let me tell you, a Highland cow has very heavy feet. I had bruises for weeks.
Yes, well, today we'll be taking you on a journey through Scotland. From its bustling cities to its tranquil countryside.
Ooh. Also, if you see any vacuum cleaners around, don't be fooled. They're probably just bagpipes in disguise. Bagpipes are sneaky like that.
Don't forget to subscribe to Traveluptuous. Yes, we've been instructed to say that. And let us know your favourite part of Scotland in the comments below.
I bet it's the dancing cows or the bagpipes, or maybe a dancing bagpipe. Imagine that. Scotland has it all.
Right, let's get started, shall we? Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, is a treasure trove of history. Take Edinburgh Castle, perched on Castle Rock. It has stood for over 1,000 years, guarding the city with its mighty presence.
Or as I like to call it, an extremely large Airbnb. Imagine booking that place for the weekend. Comes with a moat. No pets allowed, although a dragon might be okay.
And then there's the Royal Mile, connecting the castle to Holyrood Palace. It's lined with shops, pubs and...
Bagpipe players! Ah, the sound of bagpipes, like a gentle wail from a heartbroken octopus. I wonder if octopuses could play bagpipes. They do have enough arms.
If you're planning to visit, Trip.com can help you book your flights or accommodations here in Edinburgh.
Sincerely, but can Trip.com get me an octopus? Asking for a friend, a very musical friend.
Let's just focus on travel deals for now, shall we?
All right, but I'm not giving up on the octopus idea. Maybe I'll start a band. The Octopipers.
Ha! Moving along. Edinburgh is also home to Arthur's Seat, an ancient volcano that offers some of the best views of the city. It's a bit of a climb, but definitely worth it.
I climbed it once, took a picnic up there, except I forgot the food. So it was just a blanket and a lot of hope.
You really do know how to plan, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. My motto is expect the unexpected, or in my case, expect to forget everything except the blanket.
The Scottish Highlands are truly a sight to behold. Majestic landscapes, rolling hills, and lochs that seem to stretch on forever. The perfect place to lose yourself in nature.
Speaking of losing, I once got lost trying to climb Ben Nevis because I thought it looked like a giant muffin. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a muffin. I brought icing and everything.
The Highlands are best explored by car, so if you're planning a trip, localrent.com is a great option for renting a vehicle to take you from the valleys to the peaks.
I wonder if they'd let me rent a monster truck. You know, to tackle those muffin mountains properly, or maybe a tank. Just imagine the view from the top of a tank.
Perhaps just stick with something a bit more practical.
Practical, schmactical, adventure calls.
You know, there's nothing quite like driving through Glencoe with its dramatic mountains and haunting beauty. It's one of those places that makes you feel very small in the grand scheme of things.
Ooh, I once tried to yodel in Glencoe. I think I scared off a herd of sheep. They were not impressed.
Yodeling in Glencoe? That's a new one.
Well, I thought it added to the atmosphere. You know, dramatic landscapes deserve dramatic sounds.
I'm not sure the sheep would agree.
Sheep are tough critics. They have very specific tastes in music.
Let's just say Glencoe is beautiful enough without the yodeling. Scotland is famous for its castles. Stirling Castle, once home to kings and queens, is a fascinating glimpse into the past. And then there's Eilean Donan, which is probably the most photographed castle in all of Scotland.
Ooh, I found a secret tunnel there once. It led absolutely nowhere. Just a broom closet, but what a majestic broom closet. It even had a ghost, a very tidy ghost, always organising the brooms.
If you'd like to stay near a castle, consider checking Vacabee for unique vacation rentals in Scotland. Perfect for longer stays and adding a bit of magic to your trip.
Magic, you say? I bet there's a ghost in that broom closet. Probably a distant cousin of Robert the Bruce. haunting his favourite cleaning supplies. Fear my feather duster of doom.
Really right. Let's move on.
Speaking of ghosts, did you know there's a ghost at Edinburgh Castle who only appears if you sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star backwards?
I highly doubt that.
Oh, it's true. I tried it once. Nothing happened, but I think the ghost was just shy. Or maybe it only likes when someone with a better singing voice does it.
I think you might have scared it away. No visit to Scotland is complete without sampling the local cuisine, from the famous haggis to fresh shortbread and, of course, whiskey.
Of course. Haggis, yes, I've caught one myself. Tricky little creatures always hiding in the bushes. You need a net, a bag of marshmallows and a lot of patience.
Haggis is actually a dish, not an animal. It's made from sheep's offal.
Wait, sure, but have you ever seen one scurry? Adorable, I named mine Harold. He ran off with my marshmallows, though. Never trust a haggis.
If you'd like to explore Scottish food tours, you can use Hotel Look to find great deals on accommodations close to the best restaurants and distilleries.
And if you see a haggis, do try to catch one. They make great conversationalists, especially after a few drams of whiskey. Harold told me all about his dream of opening a marshmallow farm.
A marshmallow farm, you say?
Yes, I think it's a brilliant idea. Imagine rows and rows of marshmallows growing under the Scottish sun. A utopia.
I think you might be confusing reality with fantasy again.
Oh, come on. A little imagination never hurt anyone. Besides, whiskey helps make anything seem possible. Speaking of which, let's talk about whiskey tours.
Ah yes, whiskey tours are a must-do. Scotland is home to some of the finest distilleries in the world. From Islay's smoky whiskies to the smooth Speyside malts, there's something for everyone.
I tried to make my own whiskey once. It ended up being more like very aggressive tea, but, you know, it's the thought that counts.
Scotland has many traditions, like the Highland Games, where men compete in tossing the caber, a huge log, and various other feats of strength.
Ooh, do you think they'd let me toss a sheep instead? Or maybe a very obedient duck? I bet a duck would be aerodynamic.
No sheep or ducks will be tossed.
Oh, what about tossing a marshmallow then? I'd be good at that. Or maybe juggling marshmallows while wearing a kilt. That's got to be worth something.
Another great Scottish tradition is Burns Night, celebrating the famous poet Robert Burns. Expect a lot of poetry, whiskey, and of course haggis.
Burns Night. I once tried to write a poem about whiskey, but it just ended up being a shopping list. Oh whiskey, I need you, and definitely you. Not my finest work.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
And then there's Hogmanay. New Year's Eve in Scotland is legendary. I remember one year I tried to start a new tradition, the Great Hogmanay Hula Hoop Challenge. Turns out hula hooping and whiskey don't mix very well.
I can imagine that didn't go as planned.
Oh, it was a disaster. The hula hoop ended up in a loch and I ended up with a very wet kilt, but it's the spirit of Hogmanay that counts.
Scotland certainly knows how to throw a celebration. And that wraps up our journey through Scotland. We hope you've enjoyed the ride, from the Highlands to the castles and everywhere in between.
Yay! Don't forget to subscribe to Traveluptuous for more adventures. And, check the links in the description for, what was it? Cars, castles, dancing cows?
Travel deals. The links are for travel deals, flights, accommodations, rentals, all the good stuff.
Ah, yes. Especially if you're in the market for a haunted broom closet, or a haggis that steals marshmallows.
Thank you and goodbye.
Toodaloo! And remember, if you see a haggis, give it away from me, and maybe a marshmallow, just in case.
And if you hear any yodeling in the Highlands, well, you know who it is.
Ooh, yodel-a-hee-hoo, adventure awaits.